In a letter addressed to her friends and fellow Americans, the first female Supreme Court Justice, Sandra Day O'Connor, reveals she's in the early stages of dementia and that she will be withdrawing from public life. In the wake of increasingly uncivil political rhetoric, the fury over the newest Supreme Court justice not yet dying down, O'Connor offers a different message, calling her work in civics the most important. O'Connor writes, "We must reach all our youth. It is time for new leaders to make civic learning and civic engagement a reality for all." Retired Justice O'Connor's son, Jay O'Connor, is here with more on his mother's important legacy and this challenge she now has to her fellow Americans. Jay, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us how she is doing, how all of you are doing tonight? This was a very brave letter, and I'm sure not an easy one for her to write.
Well, this is a big moment for my mom to be open about what her condition is. There had been a lot of inquiries of people who had noticed that she was less active in public life, and she thought it would be best to be direct with people and share what was going on with her medical condition and what was happening with this transition in her life.
I want to read some of the comments we got from some of the current justices. Justice Elena Kagan saying, "In shattering glass ceiling after glass ceiling, she showed how women could take part as equals in the legal profession." Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg saying she strived mightily to make what was a momentous moment for women in 1981, the year she was appointed to the court, no longer extraordinary but entirely expectable. "I am among legions of women endeavoring to follow her lead." And of course, the other female on the court, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, equally a glowing statement from her, but she talked about how the fact that she's on the board of iCivics, which is this group that your mother started, to make sure that we, all of us, have a better education about how our country actually works and runs and why it's so important that we would actually understand that.
Yes, my mother was very concerned after retiring from the court about the state of civic knowledge that most Americans face and understand. And literally 1/3 of Americans can actually name all three branches of government. So she wanted to do something about it, and at age 79 started this educational software company that is all about teaching civics in a fun and exciting way for young people using interactive role-based games. It makes learning civics and civic engagement fun and relevant. And starting from scratch, iCivics now reaches half the school kids in this country from grades 5 through 12. It's a remarkable solution for civic education.
Yeah, and a fantastic legacy in addition to all the work she did on the court. We checked into the numbers because Annenberg Public Policy Center does these every year. They said 37% of Americans they surveyed could not name any of the rights guaranteed under the First Amendment. This isn't some obscure amendment. We're talking about the First Amendment. And only a quarter of Americans, about 26%, can name all three branches of government. Listen, as a fellow American, I find that terrifying.
Absolutely, and so did my mom, and that's why she wanted to do something about it. And there's a great solution at hand. You know, she said in her letter today, when she, in addition to sharing news about her own medical condition, she wanted to use this opportunity to underline how important she feels it is for our country to address this issue. And it really can be solved. And, how can we effectively govern our country, and how can our citizens choose the right representatives unless they have a basic understanding of how our country works, how the government works, how our Constitution is designed, and some of the founding principles of the country. And by sharing that common understanding and those common foundations, it can allow us all to work much more effectively and productively with one another.
Yeah, I mean, do you worry that some of this misinformation does lead to some of the rhetoric and the just sniping and heated, partisanship and back and forth because people don't know about some of those shared things that are very special as Americans?
I think that by better appreciating and understanding our common heritage and the values that are most important, we can re-energize Americans to realize that we're all on the same team and we can all achieve things, better things working together. My mom strongly believes that you don't get anywhere by yelling at one another, and that's true of both sides.
I thought it was beautiful. Also in her letter, she talked about the countless blessings in her life and how fortunate she felt to be an American. We're fortunate for that as well. Jay O'Connor, thank you very much for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.